Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today, tonight? Whenever you are watching, listen, thank you for being here. We are super excited for you to join us today for another episode of the Kingdom Builders Business University TV show and podcast. Listen, if this is your first time watching, we want you to make sure that you understand why you are here. We are here to talk about all things business, and I am KB.MichelleGreen, yours truly, who have been a business owner since the age of 19. That's over 30 plus years of being a business owner. And I am here to bring to you business secrets and strategies so that you can be a better entrepreneur in business. Listen, it doesn't matter if you are just thinking about starting a business. It doesn't matter if you have been in business for a very long time or if you have been in business for a short period of time and you are just kind of getting the hang of things a couple of years, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. It doesn't matter. What we know here is that every business owner has the ability to learn something new as it relates to being a business owner. So whether you are a individual person who is starting out just by yourself or you are a business owner with employees, listen, there is much to learn here at KBBU, short for Kingdom Builders Business University. Now, you may not know this, but at KBBU, we offer an associate certification, a bachelor certification, and a VIP master certification. What that means to you is that if you are trying to figure out how to do business the right way, maybe you have been a business owner and you have been doing business all by yourself, and you've been trying to figure out exactly what you need to do, what is missing in your business to take it to the next level. Well, that is why we have created KBBU. That's why the show exists. That's why the university exists. It is a educational platform, but not just an educational platform. It is a platform where you learn, where you begin to look at and count all of the costs and everything that you have to do, and you lay it out on paper. You lay all your cards out on the table, as they say, and then we implement. We take action. That's what we do here at KBBU. So we want you to understand that coming into one of the certification classes allows you in a 6-month period of time to be able to go through those courses, learn how to get your business set up, learn how to get funded, learn how to manage your operations of your company, as well as learning marketing, media, and sales. We take you through so many intricate details and tips and strategy secrets that will help you to excel. So what we are is exponentially empowering you, the elite entrepreneur, for excellence. That's right. That's what we do. So we want you to make sure that you understand why we exist, why we are here. We are here for you, to help you to do business better, to do it the right way, to do it in a way that is going to allow you to grow and change your business life, honey. That's what it's all about. All right. So again, I am here so that we can talk about every Wednesday some tips and some strategies, some secrets that we want to give to you to make sure that you have all of the equipment, that you have all of the tools, that you have all of the education that you need before you come into one of our certification classes. Okay, so we're just giving you a little taste of what you get on the inside. So listen, I need you to go over to www.kbbulllc.com after the show. That's after the show, okay? After the show, I want you to go over to kbbulllc.com and I want you to click on the Let's Talk button that pops up on the website. When you click on that button, I want you to put in your information. I want you to give us your phone number, give us your email, show us who you are, tell us a little something about your ideas in business, and we will contact you so we can get you signed up, enrolled into one of the certifications so that we can take your business to the next level. Don't be hesitating after the show. Just go ahead and do it. You've been talking about it. You've been thinking about it. You need the help, and you know that you need the help because as business owners, one thing that I know for certain is that business owners don't have a lot of people in their support system to teach them about business. And that is why we started KBBU. Okay. So, with over 30 plus years of being a business owner in multiple businesses, I am a financial advisor, strategist, educator. I am also a credit repair owner of a business, and I have a nonprofit organization that is a religious church. And then we have what? KBBU, and we have some other things coming down the line. So, listen, we want to make sure that you understand that this is the place to be when you are trying to find somebody who has already set the example for you in business. Then you need to know that KBBU is it, okay? And that's not me tooting my own horn. That's what the students have said about KBBU. It is a platform that they have learned way more than what they thought that they even needed to know about being a business owner. And that's what you want to be, not just looking up information on artificial intelligence, not just finding out how to do things, but actually having somebody to walk you through and tell you whether or not you did it the right way or you did it the wrong way, and how you can improve every single day in your business lifestyle. Okay, that's my shameless plug about KBBU. And I do mean shameless plug because we are not ashamed of who we are and what we do here. So listen, today we are going to jump into what type of proprietor are you as a business owner. When we talk about proprietorship, what we want to understand is, what is a proprietor? A proprietor is someone who owns a business, someone who owns property, someone who owns something. They have it in their possession. They are the rightful owner. They are the one who controls everything. They are the one who has the foundation over everything that operates. So when we talk about ownership, I want to ask you the question is, do you know what type of proprietor are you? Are you a particular type of proprietor as it relates to being a business owner, as a person who is in business alone? Okay, if you are a person who is in business by yourself, I want you to just begin to think about, was this the original intent for your business? Did you think of your business as you began to start working in your business and making money, as you began to expand and grow and gain more clientele? Did you think that you would be a sole proprietor? Did you think of yourself as being in business all alone? See, when we think about sole proprietorship, we think about only one individual that's controlling the whole show, sort of like a dictatorship. But it can't be a dictatorship if there are no people that are part of the organization. It's just you, okay? So when we think about a person who is a proprietor, what we really want to understand about proprietorship is that this means that you are literally the only one who holds the full property of your business. When I say the whole property is yours, it's yours to the degree that there is nobody else that's ever going to have any kind of input in the whole equation of you being the business owner. Okay, so being a business owner means that you are in control of everything. When you are a sole proprietor, you're in control of the entire organization. And you do need to understand that a proprietor is someone who has something that is valuable, something that they are supposed to obtain and make it work to where it's going to build equity. And when I say equity, I'm talking about the fact that your business as a sole proprietor even means that you should be getting your business to a level that if you were to sell your business, even if you don't think you want to sell it, but if you were to sell it, what is the actual value of your business? See, being a sole proprietor is not just about being the owner, but it's about your value, your worth as a sole proprietor. So let's just pause for a second. Let's just pause for a second and think about when you decided to go in business for yourself, when you decided to start that product line or that particular service that you are offering as a coach, a mentor, or whatever it is that you are offering. Listen, did you consider that you were going to need to make things multiply as a business owner? Did you consider that you are going to need to allow a return on your investment, not just to have it be something that you invested in to make money? Oh my gosh, when we think about what type of proprietor are you, we want to think about, are you that proprietor that went in business and just did it for money and you decided that this is really good. I'm making good money. I got a good clientele base and I can do this forever just by myself. Well, did you know that every single business owner, their initial idea is to do it all by themselves? Did you know that a majority of the statistics say that most people, when they go in business, they have no understanding about bringing in other people and how to really properly build a business structure outside of just being a sole proprietor. Just being a sole proprietor does establish you as being owner, but you being the owner of this company, what does it mean for the future? You being the owner of this company, what does it mean for the people that you are providing the service and product to? That if you get sick, if you get tired, if you have to have some type of family emergency come up in your life where maybe someone has a beautiful day where they're getting married and you can't come to work, or where somebody has death in the family and you can't be there to show up for your clientele, then what is going to happen? What is going to happen to the business of you being a sole proprietor? So I want you to really begin to break down this understanding of being an owner. Being an owner from the perspective of the way that it should be is that you don't just think about being a business owner as a sole proprietor, but you think about being a business owner as someone who is going to elevate to another level. And when I say elevate, that means that literally you want to get outside of the mindset that you're just in business alone. You are not in business alone, and you should not be in business without the idea and understanding that your business is going to need somebody else to take over one day. And if you have not trained anybody, if you've never hired anybody, if you have not even allowed any volunteers to come into your organization and help you as a business owner, then guess what? When your business goes down with you, then that's the end of it. So if you go down, if you no longer are able physically to do business, mentally able to do business, or even spiritually, you decide to have a change of heart, what you want to understand is this: you are going to have your individual business that you own that was supposed to be an asset that increased in value and consistently increase in value. Not saying that we don't have downtimes. We all, as business owners, have profits and losses, right? But what I am saying is this: if you didn't go in it with the mindset that you as a business owner should be able to increase that business and make it better and allow it to grow and bring in people to not just help people that you know, but to help people that your whole community, your city, your state, your nation, your country, everybody in the whole entire planet being able to obtain some type of service or product from you forever. That is the mindset that we all should have as a proprietor, not just a sole proprietor that is going to sit there and just think about themselves. So let's talk about a couple of different types of of proprietors, okay? Let's talk about getting a little tongue twisted there. So let's talk about a couple of different types of proprietors. When we think about proprietors and a person who owns a business or owns property or has something that is an asset that they need to increase in value, what we want to think about is not just sole proprietorship, but what about a partnership? What about a partnership that is between you and another person? Have you considered that there is somebody that is always helping you in business? And maybe you should have considered them to become a partner where you guys split the proceeds of profits between the two of you or the three of you. Have you considered that maybe there is somebody who believes in the same exact vision that you have, that maybe you need to go in business with so that two are greater than one? Okay, two are always greater than one. When we look at multiplication, when we look at being able to grow and to be able to expand and increase in value, if we get that down pat in our spirits, in our minds, in our and in our physical labor of how we operate our business, then we will understand that we always will come out better when there's two or more involved. We will always come out better when two or more are involved, because a partnership means that all the responsibility of the taking care of the organization, managing the organization, making sure that all of the numbers are right in the organization, it means that you are not doing that alone. So a partnership in proprietorship means that you are doing business together. Do you have somebody that is always there, that's always supporting you, that is always in the background, that's always somewhere cheering you on? Then maybe you need to make that person a partner in your proprietorship, in your ownership of your business. Perhaps you need to consider having a partner. Now, normally I don't encourage that too quickly, because both parties need to be on the same page, meaning that they need to be on a similar plane of understanding, like this is what we're always going to do together. Because once you become a partner, then if you want to get out of partnership, you would have to pretty much buy the other person out if there are profits that have been received in the business. But I do want us to go back to, remember the days when we could actually get along with that person, when we could actually work together with that person? Remember the times when we think about, maybe it was a family member or a best friend, or maybe it was a best bud that we could actually work together with, and we could do pretty much everything because we saw things equally. We saw things eye to eye. We need to get back to that mindset. We need to understand that even though there are challenges that are going to come up in our life, we can still work together as partners. So, in proprietorship, especially as a business owner, we do need to know that when we become a partnership, we would become a general partnership as a proprietor. This means that even if the both of us make mistakes in business, then it's not to point any fingers. It's just to say that, hey, we're in this together. So one of us have the other's back. And then when we think about what type of proprietor are you a person who maybe you want to have a business, but you don't want all of the responsibilities to be on you as the owner of a company? So you don't want your personal lifestyle to affect your business lifestyle. So when we think about being a person as a proprietor, excuse me, as a proprietor who is actually going to be owning a company, but we don't want to interchange or mix up our personal life with our business life, then this is where we want to go into business as a limited liability company. A limited liability company, in other words, what this does is allows us to shield our personal assets from our business assets. The business itself is already an asset. So it's something that, like I said earlier, that we want to increase in value in. So we want to make the business make money. We want the business to excel. We want it to grow. We want it to exceed the level of where it first started. No matter who had to put the money in, what we want to understand is that we don't want to tie our personal stuff with our business stuff. And if that is the case, we need to become a proprietor that has a limited liability. Limited liability literally means that it's limited to the amount of assets that personally can be sued in the event that someone wants to take you to the bank. Okay. If something happens where there is an error, there's no mixture of your personal and your business as a proprietor. See, when you own something, you really got to protect yourself. So when we think about being an owner, we want to understand that we are going to have personal assets and we are going to have business assets. And the business itself, being an asset, can draw equity. It can actually accrue equity. So, what is the difference between your revenue minus your expenses, which are your profits? What is the ability for you to show how much you increased every single year as a business owner? Did you go up? Did you grow? Did you expand? Did you make an extra $20,000 to $50,000? Did you make an extra $10,000 to $15,000? Listen, when we think about those assets and how we are growing as a business owner, and we want to separate our lifestyle of our personal stuff from our business, then we need to consider limiting the liability of our personal assets to make sure that our business assets are protected and they're over there in another corner, they're over there in another category from our personal assets. So, as a proprietor, as a person who owns this company, do you want to be, or are you in particular, in full understanding of what your rights are as a limited liability? See, if you are just now hearing this and you're thinking to yourself, like, I don't really know what I am as a business owner. I don't know what type of proprietor I am. I don't even understand all of the different types of proprietor, a sole proprietor versus a partnership versus a limited liability. And last but not least, a corporation as a proprietor. If you're thinking to yourself, like, I have no idea what this lady is talking about, even though I already established my business as an LLC, or maybe I just put my business in with the Secretary of State and I am legit, but I don't really understand what I signed up for, then that's why you need KBBU. That's why you need to come on over to Kingdom Builders Business University today. Make sure that after this show that you communicate with us so that we can get you in there and be able to help you to understand what type of proprietor you need to be. So let's talk about the proprietor that has a corporation. The proprietor that has a corporation needs to first understand that this is the person who understands they are going to have equity in their business. This is the person that understands that they didn't just go in business, but they went in business so that their business can make profits and that people can actually share in the profits that are received. So if you are a corporation, whether you are a S elected corporation or you are a C corporation, that means that you are in it to help not just yourself make money, but to help other people share in the profits that you make. So that means that other people will have the opportunity to invest in your business so that your business can grow and excel. When we think about the proprietorship of a corporation, we want to understand that this could be multiple people or it could be individual people. But the whole outline of a proprietor who is a corporation understands that the whole organization has been established for investing. So it's investing in something that is separate from you as a business owner, as the proprietor. It is separate from even sometimes in the proprietorship of a corporation, you are also being a person who is connecting with other people within your corporation that allows all of you guys to invest into that organization. So when we talk about the corporate entity of being a proprietor, when we talk about the tax side of it, when we talk about why you need to understand the difference between just a sole proprietorship versus a partnership versus a limited liability and a corporation, you got to understand that you will own profits or shares within a corporation. And you need to understand why this is such a significant change in your mindset as a business owner, as one who owns this company, as one who may even be a partner with other people who are members or shareholders of your organization. See, we have to understand what it means to be a proprietor. Do you own something that you have just been sitting on, that you have decided that, okay, I got my business because everybody was talking about the hype about being a business owner and not working for anyone else. So now you have stepped across the line and you have established yourself as a business owner. But what kind of proprietor are you? What kind of mindset do you actually have as a business owner? Are you actually thinking about having a opportunity for others to invest and receive profits from the money that your organization makes? Because that is the ultimate proprietor. I just want to let you know. And it's also, in addition, if you have a partner, if you have members, if you have officers within that organization that is a corporation, then you are at the top tier of proprietorship. I want you to understand that proprietorship is all about ownership, but ownership is nothing without assets, equity, being able to increase in your value. So, have you, as a business owner, thought about seriously what type of proprietor are you? What type of person are you? Are you a person who wants to go in business and possibly be a co op? Maybe you want to be a co op member. A co op member is a proprietorship where there are several people who own the company as a mutual benefit and receive profits equally. When we think about the proprietorship, we got to understand that proprietorship is not just one way. And if we went into business and decided that it was all about us and I'm just here to get paid and I'm here to sell my products and service and make it better, but I'm not really interested in anybody else coming into business with me. I'm not really interested in anything else as far as taking it to another tier to protect my personal assets. Maybe you're not thinking about, you want to take the business to a level where other people can pour money into your organization to help support your company so that it can expand and grow and they can share in the profits that you earn. Then I want you to know that you're missing out. So I want you to understand that today you really need to go back to the drawing board. You really need to go back to the drawing board to think about and write down on paper, what type of proprietor do you want to be? What type of owner of an organization do you really need to be, based on where your mindset is at as a business owner? So don't just take it lightly, because these are serious matters and the matters that are really going to help you to be directed for your future purpose. So, what is the reason why you even went into business in the first place? What is the reason why you wanted to be a business owner? And if you aren't really sure about that, guess what? At KBBU, in our Associate's, Bachelor's, and VIP Master Certification, we help you to identify your purpose. We help you to figure out exactly what it is that you should be doing. We help you to be guided based on the things that you tell us about your dreams, your hopes, your things that you are afraid of, the things that you are really not certain about. We help you by getting into a strategy session with me, yours truly, and being able to sit down and talk about the things of why you really need to be doing what you need to do. Because guess what? The world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you to get in alignment with your true proprietorship. Not just to say that you own something that is not expanding, growing, increasing, and drawing equity. We want you to win and excel to the highest tier possible. So if you've learned something today, I want you to put a comment below. I also want you to know that we are streamed to 3.6 billion viewers all over the world in over 175 countries on the platform CTR Media Network. Let's give a shout out to Dr. Tina J. Ramsey and Curtis Ramsey for getting us out there all over the world through their network. And let's give a shout out to all of our viewers. We want to thank you for being a part of KBBU. We want to thank you for being a part of this university, of being a part of the business secrets and strategies that we share every single week. We thank you for your commitment. We thank you for your subscription. We thank you for being a part of the associates, the bachelor's, and the VIP master's certification. Because listen, without you, there is no us. Okay? We want you to know that we are grateful for you. And if you've learned something today, please let us know. Share with us what your ideas, your thoughts are, and help us to help you to be a better business owner every single day. All right, that's time, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you are subscribed so that you won't miss another episode of the KBBU TV show and podcast every Wednesday from 12 to 12:30. And if you're feeling groovy, then make sure that you connect, okay? Don't forget, go to kbbulllc.com, www.kbbulllc.com, so we can talk about what you got going on as a proprietor. All right, until next week, we'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.